Hello and welcome back. So today we will be doing part 2 of the basketball game tutorial in BYOB Scratch. And so first of all we'll go and have a look at what we did last week, which was to create a simple projectile motion script for the ball. So when I click R it goes back to where it is, and when I click space it moves through the air. Super. Looking at this code, you could probably see that there's a little bit of inefficiency in the sense that this repeat until and space is repeated, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bit out of here and place it into here, and then delete this sprite, which shouldn't really change the behaviour of the ball significantly, no. And then what I'd also like to do is I would like to move this into its own procedure. And so to do that, this is something that you can only really do with BYOB. I think the Scratch 2.0 will also be able to do it. If you click variables and then scroll down and click make a block, I'm going to type in throw ball and then click OK. And then what I want to do is I will set this ball by clicking on the background into the motion block, because it's a movement thing. It'll be found under motion at the bottom there, and I'd like to move all of this stuff into here. And so it sets the vertical speed, changes the horizontal speed, and the vertical speed, and click OK. Now when space should be clicked, we will tell the computer to throw the ball. And I'm also going to set the variables horizontal speed and vertical speed to be not to be there. So I'll reset it and I'll click space and it flies over. This is a good thing for a couple of reasons. You should use blocks wherever possible. The first reason is that it means that your code is more readable to other people and they understand what the different scripts do. The second reason is that it allows you to test things at the level of the block, and so you can see whether a single block works or not. And the third reason is if you were to have multiple balls, then you could use the same block, and if you needed to edit the script, you'd only need to edit it once as opposed to multiple times. So it's a sensible thing to do. What I'd really like, however, is instead of having a horizontal and vertical speed, I would like the ball to have a power and an angle that it's being fired at. And so to do that, I'm going to introduce two more variables. Make a variable power, that's the amount that it's kicked at, and make a variable angle, that's the direction it will fire at. Then click OK. So I've got these two variables here. And so what I need to convert between is the power and the angle, and convert that into horizontal speed and vertical speed. And I'd like to pass those things, power and angle, into here as parameters. So if I right click on here and click edit, a parameter is a value that you give to a block. So you can see under the motion block that each one of these has its own parameter, and I'd like to give power and angle to this block. So here I'm going to call them P, and I'm going to set the data type by clicking the side to be a number. Click OK. So throw the ball P, which is a number, and then do the same again for A, set it also to be a number, and click OK. And so P meaning power and A meaning angle, and then I can use this within this code. The problem is here that it's using the global variables vertical speed and horizontal speed, and I really need to convert between power and angle and vertical speed and horizontal speed. To do this, you need to use a little bit of maths. So in this scenario, I've got power being the amount that it's kicked at, the vertical speed, the angle here, and the horizontal speed. Now you can use a little bit of trigonometry to convert these from the one thing to the other. You can see that power would be the hypotenuse, the vertical speed would be the opposite angle, and the horizontal speed would be the adjacent angle. So you can use trigonometric functions to represent these again, whereas the vertical speed is now the power times sine of the angle, and the horizontal speed is the power times the cos of the angle. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to implement that. So each time it moves x by the vertical speed, but I want the vertical speed to be set to be the power of the angle. And so I'm going to create two new script variables within here, a and b. A will be the horizontal speed and b will be the vertical speed. So I'm going to set a being the horizontal speed. It's awkward because I've now got a and b, which is represented. So I'm going to rename that one. If I just click here, and I'm going to change that to a and g, so there's no confusion within the program. So power and angle. So I've got a and b. So now I'm going to set a, which is the horizontal speed, to be the power times by the cos of the angle. If I go down here, I can find cos. Of the angle A and G. And then I will set B to be the power times the sine of the angle. If I just break this away a little bit, break that. To save me doing it again, I can just duplicate the script. Brilliant. So B is the horizontal speed, and so I'm going to change B is the vertical speed to be the sine of the angle. Boom. And so in there I have just can replace the vertical speed with p sine theta and the horizontal speed with p cos theta. And so now, instead of changing x and y by these global variables, vertical speed and horizontal speed, I'm going to drag those away, and I'm going to change x by a and b by 10, because b was the vertical speed, and I'm not going to be changing the vertical speed anymore. I'm now going to be changing b by 2 each time, 2 being the constant for the downward acceleration. I click OK, fingers crossed. Let's see how fast it is. So that's going to be 10 degrees. I'm going to go, actually this isn't very readable, so I'm going to go edit it, and in here I will go power, click OK, and didn't want to do that. Should be title text. Okay, so power, and in there angle, again title text. Okay, so it's a little bit more readable. Click OK. So throw ball power 10, and the angle should be 45. Let's see if it works. That's good. Okay, maybe increase the power a little bit to 20. It won't work because it's not off the ground at the moment. Brilliant. Okay. So now what I've got is I've created my own block to move the sprite by a certain amount of power and a certain amount of angle. What you'll note is that we're no longer using the variables horizontal speed and vertical speed. So I should go and delete those, horizontal speed, and delete the variable vertical speed, leaving me with power and angle. Now I've set these up as global variables, so we've got the potential to pass them into here as parameters. And so if I drag power to there and drag angle to there, what I can do is I can set the slider min and max on this. So min and max to be, maybe min could be 1 and maximum could be, I don't know, 50, and then the angle, the minimum for the angle should really be 1. The maximum maybe should be, I don't know, 60. Click OK, and then what the user can do is they can change the power and change the angle, and click space and watch the ball go forward. Super duper. So thank you very much for sticking with this and doing the second tutorial. In the final third tutorial we will look at how to turn this from just a sort of like a physics tool to an actual game. Thanks very much for watching.